and we will get started. You want to come get your little certificate here and your pen. Thank you so much. And then we have Tim Powers. Do I see Tim Powers? He does a lot of community with us as well. He's a sub driver, so tell him happy anniversary as well when you see him. Okay, I just have a couple announcements before I give the mic to Mike. It is spring. I know it doesn't feel like it today, so we would like you to start your spring training. We are going to be doing inspections in May, so please clean out your buses, take things out of the cubbies, clean the steering wheel, and just get everything tidy in your buses. Get your tie downs off the floor, please. We can have no tie downs. You're not supposed to have tie downs in the aisles anyway, so those need to be picked up and put where they also need to be, and we just need to make sure that everything is out of the cubby because we need to get everything out of there for the inspections. If you need any wipes or paper towels or anything to help clean your buses, please come and see Renee, Mike, or Douglas. One of us will help you get those as well. Going through parking lots. Can someone tell me what the speed limit is to go in the parking lots? Dorothy. 10 miles an hour. I know it seems like you're just crawling, but we really, really need to make sure that we're going 10 miles per hour in these parking lots, so please slow down. Mike is going to be talking about parking lots, so I won't talk too much, but out here, out front here, you cannot park. So please, when you come into a potty break, you need to go back here and come in. You can't make U-turns out here. You cannot park your buses. If you're gonna come through up front here, you need to go all the way around and then go back out. We cannot have you be doing little U-turns or parking up front. We will come out to tell you to move your buses, so please do not do that. Okay, thank you, and I'm going to give the mic to Mike. Oh, wasn't that funny?
I've never heard that before. Good morning, everybody. How's it going?
Just ducking.
Good, good, good. I only have a few things. An update on some parking or some busing at 3210. We had a meeting with myself, Mike, Patty, Renee went over to Merrick last week and had a meeting with the powers that be over there. I know it's been a rough winter and they struggled to keep that first spot clean down at the Commons. It's obviously open now. They've assured us that going forward next year they will do a better job at keeping that open. They also are marking 2 spots for Metro Mobility at the far end where you guys pull in that first spot. Those 2 parking spaces at the end are going to be marked for Metro, and they're going to do a better job of directing them to that. So hopefully that will help. As far as Willow, they're wanting to move to the west end this coming Monday, the 24th, to start loading there. So that they put in the doors in there, the big mechanical doors, or that are gonna, the bypass doors that are gonna start there. So Renee and myself are gonna go there on Wednesday, and we're gonna be meeting with them as to iron out how the logistics are gonna work over there. And then I'm going to have a map like we do for the other sites to hand out to all the folks, so we'll have a game plan. It will be a little trial and error, there'll be some patience needed. I don't know how much truck traffic has gone there, but we'll develop that plan, and I plan on being out there at least Monday with Renee, if not Tuesday, to help organize that as we transition into that west end. So please be patient. It will take a little bit like we did when we first started over there. A couple other things, oil change stickers. We got to be paying attention to those. We've had a few buses coming in several thousand miles over their PM due date. It is on your DVI. You check that off. So it's, you know, the mechanics are super busy back there. They need your help to make sure that we're getting these buses in. When I was driving, if I was at least 300-400 miles out from my PM, I would start writing it on a DVI so that's in their head so that they know to get it in and schedule it for you guys. So please be aware of the oil change stickers and make sure that we're getting those in so we're not getting over on the oil changes for the guys. Tablets and cradles. If you are having tablet and cradle issues, please fill out a deficiency report and give those to Douglas. He is the man in charge on that. We're going to try and do some troubleshooting, find out what's actually, if it's some user errors, some cradles, some tablets, what parts we need to get, and start getting a handle on those charging issues with the tablets. Thank you. One other thing that I have, if you have your clients coming to your bus and you see something odd, like they have a mark on their face or they have a scratch on their leg that you didn't notice the day before, please, please, please fill out those communication reports. Turn those in so that we can get those to the programs. And then please, refrain from assuming where those came from, if they came from the house or the program. Those communication reports are to be sent there, and then they work that out, because if we're talking to the staff and we're assuming that it's coming from the day program and it's not, then it creates all this unneeded hassle for them. So just please, if you notice something unusual about your folks when they get on the bus, fill out those communication reports, turn those in, and we'll get those to the programs, and then they can do their internal investigations as to how those came about. I do appreciate that. Any questions? Thank you. Now I'll turn it over to Rena.
What about the parking out here?
The parking out here, as far as your...
I came in today, there's all the spots were taken.
For your personal vehicle?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question.
You can park out into the first area on that.
So Mike said you can park on the other side of the cage there? Yeah, so if those, where that recesses in, we can park there. At some point in time, we'll have to see how this goes, because Barnett is planning on tearing that building down. There's going to be construction happening. We don't know when that is, and we don't know how that's going to affect the entrance from 61 into the lot going forward. We'll have to wait and see once they start that. They're building a new facility over there starting sometime this summer, I would imagine, so stay tuned on that.
I am really sorry, Kenji. Welcome back. You also, I should have said your name as well. Kenji was a driver for us. Gosh, it's been over 2 years. So he is back doing part-time with 279, kind of co-sharing that with Carl. I just saw him walk in. So those two route 279. So thank you, Kenji. Sorry about that.
All right. Good morning. Morning. You guys are really close. Oh, that's okay. We're going to start off our customer service training with a kind of a funny video that I want to show you guys.
I need the mic. Thank you. Turn it off.
If you can't see, please come right to me.
I've been very fortunate to work a lifetime of something I love doing, serving customers. For me, it was ice cream parlors. For you, maybe it's retail, healthcare, finance, etc. Whatever we do, remember, our business is not what we sell, it's who we serve. You and I are in the people business. We take care of people for a living. Hopefully, they leave happier than when they came in. At least that's what we try to. One of the best things that ever happened to me was to get a letter from a disappointed customer. Dear Mr. Farrell, I've been coming to your restaurant ever since you opened. I really love the place. Love your ice cream. I love the fun. I love your hamburgers. They're the best. I love your pickles. They are the best pickle in Seattle. I always ask for an extra pickle. They always give me one. Today, Mr. Farrell, I came in, had my usual, asked for an extra pickle from the young waitress. Well, I don't know where she got the idea, but she said, well, I'll have to sell you a side of pickles for 75 cents. That's the way you're going to run your restaurant, Mr. Farrell. I'm not coming back. Well, I got that letter from an entrepreneur who's just starting on his second store. That hurt. I wrote him a letter. I said, please, We still give pickles away. Don't you worry about it. Da-da-da. Please come back. Give him a coupon. But what happened is, I thank him to this day. The war cry of our company became, give them the pickle. Take care of the customer. No matter what happens in our business and we hear something going on, somebody says, well, should we do it? Give them the pickle. I talk to companies all over the world. No matter where I go, I always find that successful companies and successful employees have mastered the same 4 things when it comes to taking care of customers. The first thing they do is give away pickles. They make people happy. In other words, they've made serving others their #1 priority. I spoke to a bunch of garbage men. They brought me in to speak on customer service. I gave a talk, they gave me a big hand, they loved it, da-da-da-da. And after my talk, the guy comes up, he said, Mr. Farrell, I love your story about the pickle. I said, well, thank you. He said, we give pickles away all summer. I'm thinking garbage truck, pickles. Guy got it screwed up. I said, what do you mean you give pickles away? He says, we start lawnmowers. I said, what? We start lawnmowers. What do you mean? He said, well, my son and I, we drive around, he helps me in the summertime, and we see somebody up on their lawn cranking away, we stop the truck, go up there, and we start the lawnmower for them. We can start any lawnmower ever made. I says, you got it. That's the pickle. What's your pickle? What is that extra or special thing you do to make people happy? That's your pickle. Maybe it's walking the customer to the item they're looking for instead of just pointing. Maybe it's a handwritten thank you on every order shipped out to the customer. Maybe instead of just delivering their food, patients get a menu so they can order what they want when they want it. The trick is to find out what the customer wants. Make sure they get it. That's the pickle.
No, we don't want to watch that. All right, who else thought that guy looked like Alan? First thing I thought of you, Alan.
I didn't know I had another career.
I know. So, what we want you guys to think about today is, what is our pickle? Where is your pickle? What do you have to look for when you are out on your routes? So, first thing you gotta do is, who do we serve? We serve vulnerable adults. We serve the elderly community. We serve kids, high school kids, and smaller kids. So what can you give them? What is the pickle that you can give them? What if they came up to you and said, oh, can the elderly on those communities, can you carry my groceries for you? Yeah, we can carry those. Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. That's the pickle. What about you're dropping off the kids, this is for your vocal lessons or your communication, you know, the kids are coming out a little bit late. Can we wait a couple minutes for them to come out? That goes with vulnerable adults too. They have to put their shoes on. They have to eat their breakfast. What is the pickle with that? We can wait for them, right? We can be patient. We can let them put their shoes on. You know, who knows what the weather's going to be like here in Minnesota. So they need shoes. This can also go between driver and customer service dispatchers. You call in and you go, hey, I'm waiting at this house. Can you call in there? Dispatchers will come back to, yep, we can do that. That's the pickle that they're giving to you. What can you give back to them? You can be patient. You can wait for them to come back. You can have that open discussion with them. Hey, did you get any, was there any answer for me on that? That is what we mean by give them the pickle. Or they're on their way out, absolutely. You know, your customer service goes both ways, and it goes to a lot of people from driver to driver, from driver to dispatch, from dispatch to driver, and from us, and you guys see a lot of people out there when you're out there. You see the vulnerable adults, you see the elderly kids, you also have to deal with families, right? And you have to make sure that you have good customer service with them. So we're going to show you this next slide where Melanie and I are going to kind of jump in here in between some of these. And this next speaker is going to talk about 7 essential qualities of good customer service.
Hi, thanks for joining us. Today we're answering the question, what is customer service and why is it important? The 7 essentials to excellent customer service. I'm David Brownlee, president of David Brownlee & Associates and founder of smallbusinesstrainingprogram.com and the 7 secrets to $1 million business. If you're a business owner or entrepreneur, you know how frustrating it can be when clients are not happy with your product or service, whether or not it's you or your company's fault. Especially with websites like Yelp and Angie's List, Google reviews, customer service is more important than ever to get right. It can literally crush your business if you screw it up. Within minutes, hundreds, thousands, or even millions of prospective customers can see your company's bad reviews. That's heavy. On the flip side, they can also see your good reviews, which is what we'll focus on today, providing excellent customer service that will exceed client expectations, give you loyal customers with repeat business, and eventually increase your revenues and grow your business. In this video, we're going to highlight 7 essential elements to excellent customer service that will build that loyalty and repeat customers for you and your brand. You can do this by putting these essentials to work in your business today. So let's get started. Number 1. Be aware of the 3 things every customer wants when it comes to your customer service. Your customer psychology plays a key role in how they perceive your company's customer service. First, your customers want to be heard. They want to be heard all the time, but especially when they have a problem with your product or service. When they express their concerns or desires, make sure you and your employees understand this. For example, if you have a customer that's just heated and steaming mad, just let them vent. A lot of times, that's all the client needs. They'll get it out of your system, and they'll love you again just for listening to them. It's amazing. Second, your customers want to be understood. Make sure that you or your staff ask questions and repeat and confirm your customers' concerns or needs. Your company needs to fully understand your customer's situation. A lot of times, miscommunication takes place, and your staff is working to solve a problem that is totally off the mark and not addressing the issues your client actually has. So you can see this is extremely important. Number 3, your client wants to be cared for. They need to feel important. You and your staff need to show concern for them and show an effort to solve their problem and accommodate their requests. Regardless if they can accommodate them or not, depending on your company's policies, they want to see the effort being made. A lot of times you won't be able to accommodate the request, but the customer appreciates the effort. Moving on to number 2 of the 7 essentials.
So let's break that down a little bit.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Let's make apologies if you want. Take this and walk away from it.
Okay. So let's break this down and compare it to what we do for a living, right? The number 1 was, our clients want to be heard, right? Good customer service is also listening, not only telling what to do, but listening to your customer. So talk to your clients. And, do they have some issues going on? Maybe they're having a bad day, right? Everybody has a bad day. Do they simply want to just tell you something that happened? Maybe something that happened last night, some TV show that they saw that was really cool. Or do they need help? You know, you have to, they want to be heard and they want you to hear them. So don't just go, okay, get in your seat, let's go. Listen to them and hear them. Number 2 was they want to be understood. So when you are listening to them, listen genuinely. Really take interest in what they are telling you. You may be the only person that they get to talk to during the day. You know, that can be very apparent in the elderly communities. You might be the only person that they have outside of their apartments. So understand what they're trying to tell you and understand that it's important to them that you hear them. And number 3 was they want to be cared for. So you understand and talking and understanding and listening to them, all they want is to have you care for them. If maybe they have a sore foot, well, maybe then give them a little extra help. You know, here, let's help you to your seat. Here, I'll help you, you know, get you so you don't have to walk away over here, type of thing. They just want to know that you care about them. And that includes driving. When you're driving, you drive carefully and you drive smoothly with your starts and stops. You know, they want to make sure that they're safe, especially while you're driving, not only just getting on and off the bus, which you guys should be. Another way to show them that you care for them is getting up out of your seat. Every single client, you guys should be getting up out of your seat for your clients, okay? Very important, and I can't stress enough how much that means to those clients, because they know that you're there and that you're going to greet them and you're going to make sure that they get up and down the steps or up and down on the lift safely. Okay? All right, let's continue.
Write this down. S-E-C. SEC. This is an acronym I came up with because it only takes a sec to do. But it's so important in your customer interaction that it can make or break your sale and determine whether or not your customers will even come back. You have to remember it. S-E-C. SEC. It stands for smile, eye contact, and comment. Make sure you write this down. Smile, eye contact, and comment. Smiles are contagious. When you're greeted by a smiling representative of a company that appears happy and glad to see you, and you know, it's your instinct to smile back. You're ready for your interaction with this company. I mean, even if you've got a crappy day, and if the rep does it right, you will smile back. You may realize, oh, I'm grumpy, and consciously wipe that grin off your face. But your instinct is to smile back. And even when you're angry, you know, we expect subconsciously to be greeted by customer service reps, salespeople, servers in restaurants with a smile. Service with a smile. We expect it. Although it's harder and harder to find that in companies, right? For example, I fly a lot. And with everything that's been going on with the airlines these days, with budget cuts, flight delays, increased security, etc., those folks that work for the airlines, from the front desk to the flight attendants, aren't always the nicest people to deal with. You know, I get that they're underpaid and lack of job security, etc., but simple smile and greeting would make all the difference in the world, right? Even if they say the right thing. You know, welcome to Delta. We know you have a lot of choices when you fly. We're glad you picked us. Where are you flying to today? You know, they're the right words, but with no smile, it doesn't make you exactly feel warm and fuzzy inside, does it? Okay, you get my point. But this is huge. Next, make sure you or your reps make eye contact with the customer. Eye contact shows that you're ready to engage them and ready to help them in some way. It shows you care about what they're about to tell you and you're listening to them. Make sure you use eye contact in combination with the smile, you know, because you don't want to freak anybody out, you know, just staring at them. Then you want to make a friendly comment to them. It could be about the weather or lighthearted current events. You know, you can even compliment the client on either their clothing or some jewelry that you like, etc. But, you know, be sincere. And fellas, be careful with your compliments to women. Keep it classy and not creepy. That's important. The third element
That's right. Keep it classy, not creepy. All right. Okay, so what does the S stand for? Say it louder. Smile. Okay, that is one of the easiest things to do. And in our business, that's actually one of our pickles. That's one of the easiest things that we can do for our customer that goes the extra mile is to smile. You guys have people coming on your buses every day, and just to greet each one of them, hi. You don't even have to say a lot if you don't want to, but just smiling and making that eye contact. Eye contact is huge. You know what's interesting though is that's something that's very valued in our culture. It may not be valued in other cultures, so if someone doesn't make eye contact back with you, that doesn't mean that they're being disrespectful or they don't want to look at your eyes. It's just that might be their culture. So but it is something valued in our culture, and most of your riders will value that. So smile, and then we do want to make eye contact, and then that comment. You guys are in a unique position that, especially with full-time drivers, you get to build relationships with a lot of those riders, even in the loops, because you get to see some familiar faces that get on every week. So it's a great time to be like, oh, did you get new glasses? Did you get a haircut since the last time I saw you? Or you know what, I know you like this kind of music and I happen to hear this song. Would you like to hear this one? I know there's different things that you guys can do to make those connections, to make those comments. And they can avoid, some of the other things you want to, that sounds creepy. So, and especially in Minnesota, weather is a great conversation starter because it is constantly changing. And I thought was really hopeful that spring was here, and it's not so much. That's okay. And we can talk about that. So just that smile, have eye contact, and make sure you make some sort of comment. All right, let's move on.
Customer service is to listen to the customer. Remember, your clients want to be heard and understood. The only way to do that is to really listen to what they're saying, acknowledge what they said, and repeat it back to them so you're sure that you're addressing the right issue. Many times, angry customers will stop pursuing further action on your part after they know they've been heard and that you care about them and their needs. It sounds too good to be true, but it is. They sometimes actually feel guilty for causing you grief and will apologize to you at this point. When that happens, you know you're doing this right. Fourth, the fourth thing is to empathize with your customers that they're, when they're having issues. Really listen to what they're telling you and then confirm you understand what the issue is. Tell them, I understand how you feel. I understand where you're coming from. Whether they're right or wrong, this will usually allow them to let down their guard a bit and calm down if they're really angry or dissatisfied. Even if you ultimately cannot deliver the exact outcome they're looking for, by empathizing with them and their problem, they're more likely to accept a more reasonable solution. And that's best for everybody involved. Fifth,
a good example of this is something that I talked about when I first trained you guys on it. And for some of you, that's been a really long time. For Kenji, it's like, oh yeah, I remember she said that. You get to a house and you're late. And the people come out and they're like, I can't believe you're late, I got another job I gotta go to. How come you're so late? And it's just like, they've blown up, right? Because they're sitting there and they're waiting for you and they're having anxiety. By the time you get there, they're ready to unload. And unfortunately, you're the first person they see. So how do you curb that with good customer service? Anybody? What do you say if someone comes out to you stomping mad? Sorry, it's a good. What did I hear over here? Cam. Bob. You're giggling.
Smile.
Smile. Smile, smile, smile. Make good eye contact. Don't try to avoid them. And I would even try, sorry is good, but sorry can be so, I'm sorry. And everybody says it. So that's not really something that's probably going to comfort them. What you could say is you could empathize with them. I'm really sorry. Say sorry. I get where you're coming from. Okay? I get it. I get it because I used to have a job, 2 jobs too, and I know how important it is to get to your second job. And I don't mean to try to make you late, but you know what, the roads were really bad. I don't know if you noticed, there's a snowstorm out there, or even, you know what, the traffic was horrible today. Try to empathize with them as to, I understand where you're coming from. And I will do the best that I can to try to make that better for you, right? So instead of just saying, sorry, try to empathize with them and say, I'll try to do better next time, and we'll get going on this and try to make it the best we can.
Create solutions for your clients' issues and complaints. Consult your company policies, invoices, take a look at the customer's history. Whatever you need to do to come up with a solution for them. A lot of times you have to get creative and do things that you may not have thought of before. If a client is so dissatisfied with your company's product or service that the only remedy is to give a full refund, it will most likely be in your best interest just to do it. Now, I'm not saying you want to lose money on a regular basis, but hopefully this occurrence is rare, right? And if it's not, you need to make some serious changes in your organization. You may need to hire a customer service training company to come into your organization and turn it around. In fact, a lot of companies turn to us, David Brownlee and Associates, for customer service training when they don't have an adequate customer service training program in place. Now, when you hire us, we will come in, we'll assess your situation, and custom tailor a solution for your business. This is extremely important. 6, clarify the situation with the client. You need to make sure that the customer is 100% satisfied once their issue has been resolved. Review the remedy with them. Then again, gain agreement that the remedy is sufficient. You don't want to provide a solution for a client, bending over backwards, for them, thinking they're happy, and then find out later through Yelp or Better Business Bureau that the client actually was not satisfied with your solution. So clarifying the remedy for your client situation will save you a lot of grief. And finally, 7, follow up with all your customers. You want to make sure each of your customers
So we have an issue, and so what do? How do we create solutions? So we want to be able to create solutions for our clients. So what we were trying to think, Renee and I were thinking through what are some of our common issues that we might encounter, and then how would we try to solve the problem. So one of the ones we thought about is we get into sometimes is because just come get the person from the door. Just come get them. Why aren't you here? Like, you can't just walk up to the door. I know, but this is what people ask, and so sometimes how do we deal with that? How do we handle that situation? Then you can say, I hear what you're saying, I do understand, it would be great. But the thing is, we have other clients on our bus, and we have all different types of needs. It's a safety concern. We can't leave people in the bus and try to go up to the door to get one person. So just explaining why it is that way and why our policy is, we do understand, and we would love to help with that, but we do have to think about everyone and think about the safety, not just of your rider, but also all riders that are here. Something like the driveway is not shoveled when you get there. If the driveway is not shoveled and they're like, well, can't you come and shovel it and get my client out? I understand what you're saying. I do understand that is a challenge for you, that you aren't able to shovel the driveway right now. If you could make a solution, so a solution could be, create a solution. I am able to wait. I can wait 5 minutes. If you're able to make just a pathway with your shovel, you can make a pathway, and I can wait 5 minutes. And then that would be a time when you would call dispatch. They said that they can get their shovel out and do a pathway. We just wanted to let you know it's going to be at least 5 minutes before I'm able to leave this house, and then you can make sure that you're communicating. You're communicating with the house, you're communicating with dispatch, so everyone is informed, and that's creating a solution. We want you guys to have that power and use that creativity to create solutions to customer problems. So another one is the lift. Especially this winter, the snow was crazy, and sometimes the lift couldn't go all the way down because there was too much snow piled up near that. That's another situation. I can wait a couple of minutes if you want to get a shovel or another tool to be able to get the snow out from under, and explaining why that's a problem. Because not is it just for your rider, but we have to, the lift could break. And if the lift breaks, that means that this vehicle is down, and then I can't get all the riders off, and I can't get your rider on, and so there can be a lot of issues if the lift is broken, and so we have to make sure that we take care of our lifts. But I can wait. I can wait a few minutes, and of course you can smile, and I want to help you solve this problem and figure out a solution. Another one we thought about was, you get there and someone's a little frustrated and they're like, I don't like this pickup time. This pickup time does not work for me. I'm very frustrated. You can pick them up early or too late or like whatever the issue is. That is not something that's your concern, but that doesn't mean like, I don't care. So you can approach it and say, I hear you, I understand that you're frustrated. And again, that clarifying, repeating back what the problem is. I hear that you're frustrated with the times, the pickup times and drop-off times. That's not something that I can change for you. However, I can get in contact with someone who can speak to you about it and see if we can get that changed. So it's one of those things of, you're not responsible for that, but you don't have to say that. You don't have to be like, I'm not responsible for that. You can still listen to them. You want to empathize. I hear your concern. I would like to get you connected with someone who can help you with that issue. And then, again, we talked about follow-up. So with that situation, you could ask the next time you pick up that rider or the next time you see that staff member, say, did my supervisor reach out to you? Did you guys get a chance to talk about what you think might be best for your rider, for your client, for your house? And you can follow up with that person to say, I remember what you needed, and I want to make sure that the solution was given to you. And what he was saying back about, use his verbiage, clarify the situation. So you want to clarify it, make sure you repeat back, because I cannot tell you the amount of times I actually repeated back what I thought the person was trying to express, and I got it wrong. And so they had to try again. And I would also say, bring patience, because you may think you're understanding, but you're not quite there. And so repeat back, I think you're saying you are frustrated with the pickup times. They're like, no, I'm not frustrated with that. I just don't like the way they go up the stairs or whatever their problem is. So you just want to make sure you repeat back and clarify and just be patient with that, because it might take a couple rounds for you to understand what they're trying to say or what they're trying to get at. So make sure you clarify that. Also make sure that they're satisfied with the remedy. So if you say, I will let my supervisor know that this is an issue, is that seem to help with the situation currently? Is there anything else that you're looking for? Anything else you want to express to make sure that is this a reasonable solution that you feel like is a good remedy for our situation? If you do have a specific situation that you want to talk with Weenie and I about, feel free to approach us afterwards and see how we can help you respond to that situation, especially if it's consistent and you're getting a staff member who is really frustrated or a client that's continuing to be an issue. We want to make sure to help you with that. So that's kind of like following up with your customers. They could even be following up with your riders. If they told you about, that Viking game, they know they love the Vikings, so you could follow up with them and say, hey, did you see that Viking game last night? Or did you go to a soccer game? I know you love soccer, did you see that? So there could be something following up with them with other like fun things. And it looks like Weenie would like to interject and say something as well.
All good points, all good points. I think we've all run into these kind of situations on our road at one time or another. And what this is doing is it's building, if you can handle it in these situations the way that we're trying to tell you today, it's just going to build and make your customer service all that much better and your relationship with your houses. And it's just going to build that trust with them. I want to just read an email that we all got this week about some good customer service. It's a good example of good customer service that y'all did last week. This is from Merrick, okay? Thank you to all the drivers who waited at 3210 this afternoon. There was an emergency situation that prevented a few clients from getting back to 3210 on time, and many drivers waited patiently for these individuals to arrive. This allowed Merrick staff to handle the emergency situation without the added stress of figuring out rides for a number of clients. We appreciate your willingness to wait and be patient with the clients who witnessed the emergency situation off-site. Please know that we appreciate all that you do each day and are especially grateful that we can work together in situations like this. That's good customer service, isn't it? Yes, good job, you guys. You're always involved with that. That's exactly what we're talking about and we want to achieve here at Newtrax. Okay? Anything else for you?
Yeah, Mike actually would like to say a few words as well.
Renee, Melanie, thank you so much for presenting to us today on customer service. And I love that Renee finished with a great story about the customer service that we provide. We do an excellent job here at Newtrax with customer service. We can do a better job of customer service, right? That's what takes us to the next level. Right now, our service at Newtrax is providing safe rides to the passengers that we provide. That next level is customer service. What that means is pleases, thank yous, speaking to people respectfully. It's riders, it's co-workers, it's dispatchers, it's admin speaking to drivers. And one thing I would like for you guys to remember is there's always a lot going on. And we want to speak respectfully to our co-workers, our partners, our passengers. It doesn't always mean that that respectful language is going to come back to us, but we're doing it because it's the right thing to do. A dispatcher may contact a driver and be speaking very respectfully. That language may not always come back to those dispatchers because a driver may be in the middle of 10 things. Always give them the benefit of the doubt that it's not something intentional, that doesn't come back to you. And same thing with drivers to dispatchers. You may be calling in very respectfully. One of our dispatchers might have 7 different things and they may not get back to you with that thank you that you deserve, right? But it's not because it's something that's intentional. I know our dispatchers 99% of the time have that positive intention back to you. And when it doesn't come back positive, it's not because there's an intent behind it, it's because everything else that's going on. So remember that, give each other that benefit of the doubt back, that there's not, if something doesn't come back to you, it's not because of an ill intent, because it's everything else that is going on. And have that good customer service because it's the right thing to do, not because you're trying to get something back in return. But again, I want to finish with the positive because our customer service is very positive. I hear about it in the community all the time from people that we provide services from seniors, partner organizations. An example of that is last Thursday, the White Bear Chamber is celebrating their 100-year anniversary. And at their annual banquet celebrating their 100th anniversary, Newtrax was nominated and received a Company of Excellence Award. All right? That's not because everyone in the community sees the day-to-day work we're doing for our partner organizations, but it's they hear about the excellent customer service that we're providing to people that we give rides to. We were awarded this at that banquet last Thursday in front of a U.S. state senator that was there to help support the organizations that received these awards. Again, I don't know who nominated us. It wasn't something we nominated ourselves for, but the community is recognizing the work you are doing. So great job, keep it up, and let's just continue taking that extra step to take ourselves to that next level. Thank you. Douglas has a couple things before we have lunch, is that correct?
Yes.
Hello, Newtrax drivers.
Hi, John. How you doing? Oh, that's great.
Bus books, they are ready. So, this is what it means to you. Tomorrow is when they'll go live. So the shelf over there will change. The shelf that's currently in dispatch that says do not touch will be moved out there. What I need from you is tonight, when you come in, bring your old bus books, that are in your bus, and there'll be a drop-off. It'll be that box that I'm currently using as a stand for my mouse. Just throw them in there. Going forward, you won't have to worry about the updates. The dispatchers will put the updates on your routes, and they'll flag it with a little popsicle stick and say, hey, you gotta change. But they'll keep the bus book up to date. So we will avoid the situation our sub-drivers often encounter, where the current bus books, they're sitting there, hard to find, are stuffed full of old route copies and out-of-date bus cards. This is what this should correct. So we should have, which will require some more action on your part. So in the morning, you'll bring it out. The tablet will be in the webbed pouch inside here. Ta-da. Oh, thank you. You bring it out, you do your morning runs. At the end of your morning runs, you bring that back in. This is a change from what you do. Do not leave it in the bus. You go out, you do your run, and you bring it back in. You put it back on the shelf, which is labeled. And then in the afternoon, you pick up your bus book, bring it out to your bus, do your run, bring it back in. You may forget, please remember, an easy way to remember is once you're done with your tablet, put your tablet in the book, and then just bring the book in. So you're just carrying your keys and your book. That way, it is here on the shelf, so when we have updates over the midday or at the end of the day, that can be done for your benefit by the dispatchers.
What is this packet for? What is this pouch?
That pouch is for papers and forms you want to throw in. DVIs that we have extra, we can put those in there so you can put them in, keep them dry on the way out to the bus when it's on a rainy day. The way it's laid out, all the bus books are laid out the same way. They got a little reminder about how to hook up your wheelchairs. It's very important. It's got your route copies, A, B, AM, and PM. It's got your seating chart that we have. Please take a look at it and make sure it is up to date. If it is not, grab a new form, fill it out, give it to the dispatcher so we can put it into our database and then put an updated copy back into your bus book. And then there should be the bus cards. There's dog's directions and the bus cards for your clients. Any questions at the moment? I see two.
Medication log?
Your medication log can go into the pouch.
You want my old one?
Yes, we'll take your old one. Just put it in your, the old bus books that you're bringing in, put it in. We'll go through, tear them apart, shred the sensitive information, and then the old information forms we'll process.
If you're doing a community, would you still take the book with?
The question is, if you're doing a community, would you still take the book with? If you're in the route in the morning and you're going into the community, you'd have the book with you? Are you talking about a situation where it's just you're doing a community? Then you would not. If you're just doing a community run, there will be dedicated books for the community routes, community buses. So that's where the tablets would be. Question over here?
Where do we put the tablets that don't charge?
Currently do as you currently are doing. It doesn't charge, it's low on charge, bring it in dispatch. When you come in here, before you put the book on the shelf, take the tablet out, bring it to dispatch, and put it in the charging line. The question is, what do you do with tablets that aren't charging? Get over there. Say again? Is the book going to fit in the overhead? if you try. It should be, it should be sitting either next to you or behind your seat. There should be room in the the overhead, if you want to put it there. I would suggest that you have it within reach if you need to reference it. And so you don't forget it. Things that go into the overhead tend to get forgotten. So my suggestion is you put it behind your seat or put it to the right or in the back. Terry!
Hey Douglas, 270 don't have one.
You made the correct observation that 272 does not have one, but your route, White Bear 1, does have one. Just take that book, because depending on the school you're running, you may be using the van, you may be using 272, so that's why we decided just to put White Bear 1. So your current tablet that you use, you put that in there, and if you take 272, take your White Bear 1 book. Any other questions? 281. There are 2 books. One of the books is for us here, because that bus parks out. 281, Kelly, she will have that book with her in her bus that parks out. So you only see 1 book, the PTO book. So on days that she's not able to drive, that book, the driver can grab it, and it's up to date. I have one other form, and then food. Oh, sorry, Ann. The seatbelts on the walls. You mean the clippers? So leave them as a unit. So there is the shoulder belt, which clicks to the lower portion there. That's what we're talking about. This lower portion here. We want you to keep them clipped together. So whatever you do with the client, they unbuckle and leave them on the floor. At the end of the day, end of the run, we want them buckled together, hanging on the wall, because those lower portions are going missing. And that is a problem. We have DOT in about a month. We need to have all of those accounted for. The best practice is to leave them up, because you may not be driving that bus to the sub, or you're like, oh, I'll throw it in the overhead, or I'll throw it in the doghouse, or throw it in the side, and they get buried and lost. Again, please leave them buckled together at the end of your shift. Okay. The final thing is for hire forms. It is work in progress. If you're a community driver, you have seen this a couple times. A few of our things are classified as for hire. Because of that, reporting requirements, we need to know that you're not fatigued. So these forms, if you have questions about them, come and ask me. Their basic premise is they want to know when you last got off shift, and if many of us have more than one job or activity, they want just a week prior. If you've seen this form multiple times a week, you only need to fill out once. So if you fill it out on Tuesday and Wednesday you see it again, you don't need to fill it out. But the idea is you just tell you're reporting what you worked the week prior, hour-wise. If you have further questions, come and see me, because it's only about a handful of you that ever see this, and there's food. Who would like, do we have any? Safety committee meeting right after. Location would be upstairs conference room.
Safety committee, come to the line first.
Safety committee, come to the line first, please. Be nice. Any other things? Otherwise, I will thank you all for your attention. Again, if you have any questions, come feel free to ask. We're excited about the bus books. Have a good week. Drive safe. Have fun.